Hello children, I am here again with second part of the chapter acid, bases and salt. In the last chapter we have discussed till physical properties of acid. We will conclude here chemical properties of acid and then we will start base, its classification, acidity, preparation of bases and properties of bases. Okay. First is reaction of metal with acid. It will give salt and hydrogen gas will release. Okay, so let's take one example. Let's take magnesium and HCl acid. It will give salt of magnesium, that is MgCl2, and hydrogen gas is released. Children, we are taking here dilute acid. Okay, we will not use concentrated acid, we will use dilute one only. Another example we will take of iron plus H2SO4. It will give iron sulfate plus hydrogen gas will release. Okay, now see here, metals, you can take any metals, but in the reactivity series some elements are on the top of the reactivity series. Okay, they will react vigorously and they will explode when acid is reacted with that metal. So we will take some moderately reactive elements like magnesium, iron, zinc, like this. So they will give, suppose we are taking zinc, HCl, it will give zinc chloride and hydrogen gas will release. One very important point is that not all metal will react with acid. Okay, just now I have said that metal reacts with acid. Okay, but not all acid. We are taking here HCl and H2SO4. We cannot take HNO3 because it is very strong oxidizing agent. It is very strong oxidizing agent. What it will do? It will do here. It will convert hydrogen into water because it is very strong oxidizing agent. So here hydrogen gas will not form, it will convert it into water. So you will not able to form hydrogen gas with this. So here one important question is that, second question is that, name two metals that can react with nitric acid to produce hydrogen gas. And first is why nitric acid is not used for the preparation of hydrogen. Just now I have explained, because nitric acid is very strong oxidizing agent. It will convert hydrogen into water. That's why nitric acid is not used for the preparation of hydrogen gas. Okay, it is converting hydrogen into water. Now second is, name the metal that can produce hydrogen gas with nitric acid. Okay, two metals are there, manganese and magnesium. Remember this point, this is very important question. These two are very important question. Manganese and magnesium can react with HNO3 in very dilute form. That means 1 to 2%. Okay, suppose you are taking 1 liter of water, then you will add only 1 or 2 milliliters of HNO3. Okay, then only it will produce hydrogen gas. Otherwise it will convert hydrogen into water. Okay, and the product with manganese will be MnNO3 whole twice. Okay, it is clear. Only two metals are there that can produce hydrogen gas with nitric acid. These are manganese and magnesium. Why nitric acid is not used? Because it is very strong oxidizing agent. It will convert hydrogen to water. Next is neutralization reaction. When an acid reacts with a base, it will give salt and water is produced. Only salt and water if it is producing, then only it is neutralization reaction. Examples are acid hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, which is a base. They both will react to give sodium chloride, which is salt, and water is produced. Another example is nitric acid HNO3 and sodium hydroxide, they both react to give sodium nitrate, which is a salt, and water is produced. Next is decomposition of carbonates. Carbonate is CO3 2 minus, bicarbonates HCO3 minus. Okay, when carbonates or bicarbonates decompose in the presence of acid, it will give salt, water, and carbon dioxide gases produced. Children, remember one point here: carbonate, bicarbonate on decomposition always give carbon dioxide gas. This one is very important point. Example is calcium carbonate. When reacts with dilute acid, it will give calcium chloride, that is salt, and water, and carbon dioxide gas is released. Okay. Second is calcium bicarbonate with HCl. Here also it is dilute. It will give calcium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide. In the previous example, it was only salt and water. And when carbonate is taken, here salt, water, and carbon dioxide gas is forming. One point you have to note here: lead carbonate will not give this reaction, okay, because lead carbonate is insoluble salt. When it will react with dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4, it will not give the reaction because it is insoluble. It will not react with these two, okay. And for calcium carbonate, it will react with dilute HCl, but it will not react with dilute H2SO4. Okay, so these points you have to remember, that lead and calcium carbonate will not react with H2SO4, and lead carbonate will not react with HCl because they are forming insoluble salt. So reaction will not proceed and the product will not form. Next is decomposition of sulfite SO3 2 minus or bisulfite, that is HSO3 minus. When reacts with acid, they will give again salt, water, but here it is SO2 gas. Okay, in the previous one, carbonate is giving carbon dioxide gas and sulfite is giving SO2 gas. Let's take example of calcium sulfite. When reacts with dilute HCl, it will give calcium chloride, that is salt, water, and SO2 gas will get released. Another example is sodium bisulfite. When reacts with HCl, it will give again salt, NaCl, water, and SO2. Children, remember that sulfite, bisulfite will give SO2 gas, carbonate will give CO2 gas, and if normal acid and base reaction is there, then salt and water. Okay. Now next is decomposition of sulfides. Sulfide is S2 minus ions. When metal sulfides reacts with acid, it will give salt. Children, see here. Here's only salt and H2S gas is forming. Okay, H2 gas is released. No water is there. Only salt and hydrogen sulfide. S is producing H2S only. Examples are zinc sulfide reacts with dilute acid. It will give zinc chloride, that is salt, and H2S gas is released. Again, iron sulfide and HCl will react to give iron chloride and hydrogen sulfide gas is released. Children, wherever you are writing a chemical reaction, you will write balanced chemical reaction. I am telling you again. So if the reaction will be balanced, then only you will be able to write the complete reaction. In both cases, 2 will come here, so it will get balanced. Next is chlorides of any salt do not react with dilute acid. They will react with concentrated acid. See here, HCl and H2SO4 concentrated, and temperature is below 200 degree. Here temperature is very important, children. If temperature is changed, you can see here product is also changed. So you have to remember temperature. If it is below 200 degrees Celsius, sodium bisulfate is formed with HCl gas is released. Hydrochloric gas is released. If sodium chloride reacts with H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4, and temperature is above 200 degrees Celsius, then both hydrogen of H2SO4 is ionized, and here HCl gas is forming. Here both hydrogen is ionized, so you will put 2, and here sodium sulfate is formed. Here only one hydrogen is ionized into HCl and one left here only. That's why NaHSO4 is forming. So this 2 example is very important for you. Okay. In the preparation of HCl gas in that chapter, we will learn this in detail. Okay. Next is nitrates of any salt. These also do not react with dilute acid. They will react with concentrated acid. Okay. Nitrates of potassium nitrate reacts with sulfuric acid concentrated. Temperature is below 200 degrees Celsius. Again, potassium bisulfate is forming and nitric acid is formed here. Okay. Here, potassium nitrate, sulfuric acid concentrated, temperature is above 200 degree, then potassium sulfate is forming with nitric acid. Children, in both cases reaction is almost similar. Okay, this one is also important. One important point you have to remember in these two, that non-volatile acid is producing volatile acid. Okay, here also it is non-volatile will produce volatile acid. Okay, volatile, you know what it is? It is the acid which volatile is a liquid which can form vapors, okay, when kept in room temperature. And non-volatile, they will not form vapor at room temperature. Okay, here also these points are important. Now we will start base. Bases are metallic oxides or hydroxide. Okay, metallic oxide means it contains metal plus O2 minus ions, or hydroxide means metal plus OH minus ions. Okay, if they have metal oxide or metal hydroxide. Next point is, if these compound which react with acid, they will form salt and water only. Okay, so base is that substance which react with acid to form salt and water only. If any other substance is also formed with salt water, then you can say it is not a base. Okay, if it is forming only salt and water with acid, then only it is base. See here, copper oxide. Copper is metal and oxide is O2 minus ion. Copper oxide and acid HCl reacts to give copper chloride, which is salt, and H2O, which is water, and no more substances forming. That's why it is known as a base. Now children, in acid you have remembered that non-metals are related to acids, and for base you have to remember that metals are associated with base. Now again, magnesium is metal, its hydroxide is OH minus ion. So metal hydroxide is a base which react with acid to form salt, magnesium sulfate, and water is forming. So again, this one and this one both are as a base because they are producing salt and water only. Now let's take one example of lead oxide. Here lead is metal and oxide of metal is base, reacts with acid HCl. It will give salt, lead chloride. Water is also here H2O, but with water chlorine gas is also forming. So here salt, water and chlorine gas is forming. That's why you cannot say it is a base. It is not a base. Okay, it is not a base, because it is producing salt, water and chlorine gas also. Clear? Now what are soluble base and insoluble base? Soluble base are that base which produces OH minus ions in aqueous solution. That means when base is dissolved in water, it will produce OH minus ions. And when base is dissolved in water, it will not produce OH minus ion, then it is insoluble base. Some example of soluble base is NaOH, KOH, Na2O, K2O, okay, and CaOH whole twice also, and NH4OH also, okay. And other than these, all the bases are insoluble. If you are taking ZnO, MgO, MgOH whole twice, FeOH whole twice, CuO, CuOH whole twice, so etc. So all these bases are insoluble bases. Only NaOH, KOH, Na2O, K2O, these are completely soluble and they produce OH minus ion completely, and calcium and ammonium hydroxide, they produce partial, these are partial soluble, okay, these are partial soluble. That means they will produce ion as well as molecule, okay. Here dissociation is not complete, but these are soluble in water. And ammonium hydroxide also, it is soluble in water but not completely, you can say it is not completely soluble, and these are completely soluble, okay. NaOH, KOH, N2O, K2O, these are completely soluble and these are partially soluble. And one more important point, soluble base is also known as alkalis, okay. These are also known as alkalis, which are soluble in water, and insoluble base, it is insoluble only. So one point you can say that all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkali. See, all alkalis are bases here, but all bases are not alkalis. These bases are not alkali, but here all bases are alkali. Okay? Now we will start classification. Bases can be classified on the basis of its strength and on acidity. Strength means weak acid or strong acid, and acidity means the number of OH minus ions present on dissociation. Strong alkali, the alkali which dissociates completely in aqueous solution, that means they will produce maximum number of OH minus ion in water. And weak alkali, they will dissociate partially, that means some of the ion molecule will produce OH minus ion and some of the molecule will not. So these are the example of strong alkali. This one is not alkali, okay. NaOH and KOH only, okay. So in your syllabus you have to remember these two only, that NaOH and KOH both are strong alkali, and CaOH whole twice and ammonium hydroxide, these are weak alkalis, okay. Remember this much only. They will dissociate into Na plus and OH minus ions, and KOH will dissociate into K plus and OH minus ion, and this dissociation is complete dissociation. Here CaOH will dissociate into Ca plus and OH minus ions, okay, and NH4 plus and OH minus ions. So here dissociation is complete. Suppose we are taking 10 molecules of NaOH, so 10 Na plus and 10 OH minus ion they will give. Here CaOH whole twice, if you are taking 10 molecule, then maybe you are getting ions of only 2 molecules, Ca 2 plus and 2 OH minus, okay. Now acidity of a base is that how much numbers of OH minus ion is dissociating out when it is dissolved in water. So NaOH will dissociate 1 OH minus ion, that's why it is monoacidic. CaOH whole twice will give 2 OH minus ion because Ca2 plus and 2 molecule of OH2 minus ion is producing, that's why it is dibasic. And AlOH whole thrice will give 3 molecules of OH minus ions, that's why it is triacidic. One thing you have to remember here, base will be giving based on basicity is base will be calculated on acidity, and acid will get calculated by basicity. Okay, base is calculated by acidity and acid is calculated by basicity. Preparation of base. Base can be prepared by metal. When it is heated or reacted with oxygen, then it will form base. This is also metal oxide. Like sodium, when it comes in the contact of oxygen, it will form sodium oxide. Sodium oxide is metal oxide. Magnesium bonds in oxygen, it will form magnesium oxide, that is also metal oxide. So these two are base. Now next is metal when react with water. It will give base, that is in the form of metal hydroxide. Okay, and hydrogen gas is released. Like sodium reacts with water, it will form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Next is potassium. When reacts with water, potassium hydroxide is released with and hydrogen gas is released. Next is calcium and water. Calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Okay, metal plus oxygen will give metal oxide. Metal plus water will give metal hydroxide. Now third is metal oxide. When reacts with water, it will form alkali. Alkali is also a base. See metal oxide, how it is formed here. Metal plus oxygen gives metal oxide. Now this metal oxide, when it is reacting with water, it is forming hydroxide. Like sodium oxide gives sodium hydroxide with water. Potassium oxide and water give potassium hydroxide. Calcium oxide and water give calcium oxide. Okay, here metal to metal oxide, and now metal oxide is converted into alkali. Okay. Next is double decomposition reaction. You have learnt in class 9th also. Double decomposition. Here you have to take soluble salt. Okay, you have to take only soluble salt which reacts with base. Base is in the form of alkali. Okay, and after the reaction, the soluble salt will produce insoluble base and salt is produced. Okay, here is soluble salt, insoluble base, and here it is alkali and salt is formed. Okay, now see here examples. FeCl3 when reacts with NaOH, these are soluble salts. It will give FeOH whole thrice and NaCl is produced. Next is copper sulfate. It is also soluble salt. NaOH will give CuOH whole twice. It is forming precipitate and sodium sulfate is formed. Aluminium chloride, it will react with alkali ammonium hydroxide. It will form aluminium hydroxide. It is in the precipitate form and ammonium chloride is forming. Children, one point you have to remember here, all nitrate salts are soluble salt. So in place of these you can take any nitrate salt. Let us take copper nitrate. Okay, and when it reacts with alkali NaOH, it will give CuOH whole twice, that is in the form of precipitate, and sodium nitrate salt is formed. Okay, all nitrates are soluble salt. Okay, we will learn this in salt topic. Okay, now next topic we will start salt, then we will learn about these nitrates, that all the salts of nitrates are soluble. Okay, next is metal sulfides. When react with oxygen and heated, it will give a base which is metal oxide and SO2 gas is formed. Zinc sulfide reacts with oxygen or heated with oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, it will give zinc oxide, that is metal oxide, and SO2 gas is released. Okay, sulfide is releasing SO2 gas. Metal sulfide, lead sulfide and oxygen will give lead oxide and SO2 gas is released. Now here decomposition of salts are there, metal carbonates and metal nitrates. Both on heating will decompose into metal oxide. Okay, so calcium carbonate will decompose into calcium oxide. In the previous topic we have discussed that carbonate is giving carbon dioxide gas on decomposition. Like that, and ZnNO3 whole twice, zinc nitrate on heating gives metal oxide, that is zinc oxide, and NO2 gas is released with oxygen gas. Okay, so these are the points you have to remember. Carbonate is giving carbon dioxide gas, nitrate is giving NO2 gas, and with NO2 oxygen gas is forming. Carbonate is forming CO2 and sulfide is forming SO2 gas. Okay. Now physical properties, it is bitter in taste, and it's when you will touch a base it is very soapy in touch. Okay, now indicators how you will identify it is as a base or not. So first we will take litmus as an indicator. It will turn red to blue. Okay, red to blue. Phenolphthalein, it will change its color from colorless to pink color. Okay, it will change pink color. Now methyl orange, from orange to yellow color. Okay, it will change yellow. Okay, now pH scale, it will be more than 7, means 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 is strong base and 8 is weak base. For universal indicator, if you are moving towards violet, that means it is more basic. Okay, so for universal indicator, blue, indigo, violet, these are for base, and most is violet, most basic is violet, and least is blue. Chemical properties, we will start from this. When strong alkali, you have to learn only for sodium and potassium hydroxide. Okay, strong alkali, when kept in air that contain carbon dioxide in it, it will form metal carbonate and water. Suppose we are taking sodium hydroxide, it will absorb carbon dioxide from air, it will form sodium carbonate and water is formed. Potassium hydroxide, when kept in air, it will react with carbon dioxide present in air and form potassium carbonate, and water is formed. Now some metallic salts solution. Solution means it is in aqueous solution prepared in water. Alkali, the base. When these two are reacting, metallic salt solution and alkali, then salt and corresponding metal hydroxide is formed, which is the metal oxide is insoluble metal hydroxide. Okay, here it will be insoluble metal hydroxide. Now suppose we are taking copper sulfate in aqueous solution of copper sulfate. Ammonium hydroxide is the alkali, then the salt form is ammonium sulfate and copper hydroxide precipitate is formed. Next is zinc sulfate and sodium hydroxide reacts to give sodium sulfate and zinc hydroxide precipitate. Next is iron sulfate in aqueous solution react with sodium hydroxide, it will give sodium sulfate and iron hydroxide. It is of dirty green color precipitate is formed, and zinc hydroxide is gelatinous white and copper hydroxide is pale blue precipitate. Okay, we will learn in detail these precipitate in salts. Children, please remember or note this point. This is very, very important point over here. Hydroxide of zinc, aluminium, lead, which is forming precipitate here. Okay, if it is precipitate of zinc, aluminium or lead, it will get dissolved in excess of alkali, NaOH or KOH. If you are taking any hydroxide of amphoteric oxide, zinc, aluminium, lead, then it will get dissolved in excess of sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Okay, suppose here zinc oxide hydroxide is formed. If you are taking this as a precipitate, it is of gelatinous white. It will, in excess of NaOH, it will dissolve completely and it will form sodium zincate. Okay, now it is forming sodium zincate. Clear, children? So this point is very, very important, that what type of hydroxide get dissolved in excess of NaOH or KOH? Only amphoteric oxide, zinc, aluminium, lead and tin. These oxides get dissolved in excess of NaOH or KOH. Okay, no other hydroxide can dissolve in excess of NaOH. Now fourth property is that ammonium salt, when reacts with alkali or it is warmed with alkali, it will produce salt, water and ammonia gas. Okay, ammonium salt means ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate. When reacts with alkali, NaOH or KOH, and it is warmed with them, then it is producing NaOH will give NaCl, water and ammonia gas. KOH will give potassium sulfate, water and ammonia gas. Now children, these reaction you can do and repeat these by writing, and always write balanced chemical equation. Okay, so practice hard. This chapter is little confusing and it will get understood by you when you will revise it, and keep every important point in your mind and revise by writing the equation. Okay, then only you will be able to balance it and write the correct formula. All the best children,